Welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be showing you my Radionics D6500 alarm receivers, and I kind of want to talk about them a little bit. I actually have two of these things. I got this off of eBay for a good deal. As you can see, they're both packed with line cards and stuff, which is awesome. However, the printer module on this one is broken, and so the seller was also very nice to ship another one completely free of charge. So now I have two of these. This one works 100% fine, except for that printer card, which I'm going to send it to a friend to get rebuilt. Anyway, so this one is fully functional. And if you don't know what an alarm receiver is, it's basically the other end of your home burglary alarm system, in a way, in very layman's terms. So you have, like, for example, maybe you have a DSC system in your house with this kind of keypad, and it reports over a phone line. You can see the phone line wires right there. And so basically the panel calls a phone number. That phone number goes into the receiver. One of the line cards answers the call, and then the receiver, the panel sends a whole bunch of data to the receiver, and the receiver decodes that data and then puts like the event on the screen. It prints it out and then sends it down to automation. And automation would be like the central station software, where they could see the alarms on the computer and dispatch the fire department, police, or medical, whatever. These devices don't actually dispatch the authorities. This just basically lets the central station operators that there is an event or that there is an alarm. And so this is like the main thing in the central station. But nowadays it's kind of sad because everything is going to cellular and more completely digital communications, and these things are getting phased out very quickly. So if you're interested in alarm stuff and you look on eBay, I recommend finding something like this pretty quickly, because they're going to be pretty hard to come by soon once they all sell out on eBay. Anyways, so I'll go over the kind of phone system in case y'all are interested. I have plenty of videos out on this system, but basically we have a phone cable right here. That goes into something, excuse my big pile of financial mistakes there. It goes into something called a voice gateway, and this is pretty much a big ATA, if you know what that is. An ATA is basically an analog telephone adapter, and in layman's terms, it converts Ethernet to analog phone line, which would be a landline in this case. And so this provides me 24 phone lines. And so whenever a panel calls a certain phone number, it goes out of there into line card 1 or 2, I can't remember which one I have it programmed to, and then the receiver receives the data. So let's go ahead and power this thing on. There's a little AC switch in here. As we can see, the printer is currently printing some events. And we can see system is normal and the date and time is not set. I'm not going to go through the pain of setting the date and time because reasons. So anyways, I guess let's go ahead and send a report. And one thing you're going to notice, these are going to be blinking on and off. That is because in programming, I have it set to not supervise any of these line cards, because I'm only using one at the moment. However, I have a high density voice card, which is basically a Cisco VG224 voice gateway, but in a single module, and it goes into a Cisco router, and that's going to give me another 24 phone lines. And so both of these receivers are going to be online. And if you're in my Discord server and you want to have your alarm panel report to them, I'm not going to do anything like Protostar alarm monitoring where you get reports on a Discord server, but it would really, you won't be able to see the reports you get. It would just be kind of like for fun, I guess. But anyways, let's go ahead, and this is the only line card that's on right now, because you can see the treble light is kind of flickering, which means it is looking at the telephone line voltage, and if that line voltage drops, it goes into trouble. And it also prints it out on this piece of paper, which is very hard to come by, so I kind of want to preserve it. Anyways, so let's go over here, and let's do something basic first. So we'll go ahead and do let's do a test report first. So I'll do command 41 on my Radionics 8112. A video on that too. And we'll watch this line card here. As you can see, the ring light turns on, and we have picked up the phone. And so now the panel is sending data to the receiver, and I'll let you watch the screen here, and we'll see what it says. restoral report. So I guess a test report comes up as a restoral report. I'm not really great with reported codes and event codes yet, but I'm still trying to learn them, so bear with me. And so that was basically what just happened. So let's go over it again. So the panel, we did a test report on the panel, and then the panel called the receiver, which would be in the central station, and then the receiver answered the line with one of the line cards, processed the data that the panel sent, and then printed it out, and then if this was in an actual professional central station, sent it to automation, which would be a computer software that basically takes all the data and then dispatches the fire department and all this other stuff that we're not going to get into in this video. So now let's do something more serious. Let's do a panic. So let's go ahead and do command 9. We'll go ahead and cancel that. Take a look at the receiver here. Ignore everything else besides this line card. We can see it rung in, and it answered the call. So we'll watch the data right here. Or we'll watch the screen. Alarm, zone 2. I believe that's what it said. And account 99 cancel on zone 2. And that was it. And so that alarm would have both those events would have got sent down to automation. And then if you are on AlarmLink Labs alarm monitoring, it kind of gives you a good idea on what it does. So for example, if this receiver was connected to the AlarmLink Labs automation software, it would put the event that we just sent, that alarm, on the web interface, and you would have to go and clear it. Which it's clearly sending more data. I wish I was looking at it. Let's see what it's sent by, reading the paper here. I can't read that because this thing's sitting on top of a whole bunch of bullcrap. But anyways, I want to talk a little bit more about this thing because I'm kind of just like, I'm sorry, it's kind of late at night when I'm making this, so I'm all over the place in this video. So if you want another detailed video on this thing, feel free to ask and I will most likely say yes. Anyways, these receivers are older receivers. I think this was Radionics' second receiver they have ever made, correct me if I'm wrong. And this is the Radionics D6500 security system receiver. And basically, Radionics doesn't make these anymore, and these are actually very old receivers. I think this one's from like the 1990s or 1980s maybe. I'm not 100% sure. But these line cards only support pulse formats, BFSK, and modem 2 and modem 3. Those are the only reporting formats that this receiver takes. Unless you have the newer line cards, then it can support contact ID. Which, unfortunately, in both this receiver and this receiver, I don't have any of the new line cards. So there will be no contact ID reporting. It would only be modem 2, modem 3, pulse, and BFSK formats that will work. Which is fine for me because I mostly collect Radionics systems. And so Radionics systems support all three of those formats. So anyways, let's go ahead and send another event. First, we'll reset sensors. Do command 47. That shouldn't send an event. And let's do a status report. So we'll do command 42. Again, the panel just clicked, if you could hear that. And now it's going to be dialing the central station. Or in this case, me, because I'm the central station. And we'll watch the display. Sorry for my shaky, crappy video. Here we go. Status report, restoral zone 9, which is battery restoral. Opening ID 9, not sure what that means. Status report, restoral zone 0. And that is it. And the panel just hung up the line. So yeah, that is pretty much what a central station receiver does. I know this was kind of like a layman's video, crappy term. Very crappy video if I'm being honest, but I kind of just wanted to put something out there on this thing because this thing is way too cool for me not to go to bed tonight and make a video on it. So yeah, just to sum everything up once again, if you have there's a good chance in central stations that these are still in use. So if you have a panel like a Radionics panel or anything that does pulse formats or modem formats, you're probably reporting to one of these receivers, either the 6500 or the 6600, which is the newer receiver that it does it supports every reporting format, and it does a whole bunch of cool stuff. I would love to get one of those receivers at some point, but I'll have to settle with this for now. But there's a good chance that you're reporting to one of these if you're reporting over phone line. If you're reporting over IP or cellular, you're not reporting to one of these things, unless it's like a Bosch 6100, I believe, or correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not too good with the newer stuff. Oh, I think that was a battery, because I don't have a battery in it, hence the battery light's on. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, do leave them down in the comments, and I'll make sure to go through and answer it. And if you want to see a better video of this eventually, just let me know, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.